Abraham Lincoln, the assassination. On April 14, 1865, the United States witnessed one of its darkest days. John Wilkes Booth, a well-known actor and Confederate sympathizer, fatally shot President Abraham Lincoln while Lincoln was attending a performance of the popular play Our American Cousin at Ford A.S. Theater in Washington, D.C. The assassination shook the nation to its core. It was not just the loss of a president, but a symbolic blow to the country as it struggled to heal from the Civil War. Tonight, we will explore the assassination, its immediate aftermath, the political upheaval, and Lincoln's enduring legacy. The night of April 14th should have been like any other at Ford's Theater. The play, Our American Cousin, was extremely popular, and the cast made a special nod to the president in one of the lines. The draft has already been stopped by order of the president. The audience erupted with laughter. Booth, being an actor, knew the play and the timing of the joke perfectly. As the laughter drowned out other sounds, he seized his chance. Booth entered Lincoln's box, fired a Derringer pistol at the president, and then attacked Henry Rathbone, an army officer who tried to stop him. In the struggle, Booth fell or was thrown onto the stage below, breaking his leg. As he fell, he shouted, "Sic semper tyrannis," Latin for "thus always to tyrants." Despite his injury, Booth escaped the theater and began a 12-day manhunt that would capture the nation's attention. Booth's flight and death. Booth and his co-conspirator, David Harold, fled south across the Potomac River, eventually finding refuge in a barn owned by Richard Garrett in Bowling Green, Virginia. Soldiers cornered them and set the barn on fire to force Booth out. Booth emerged and was shot by Union soldiers. He was also stabbed to ensure he was dead. His body was transported to Washington, D.C. and placed under heavy guard in the White House. Lincoln's funeral and national mourning. President Lincoln's death plunged the nation into mourning. A funeral train carried his body from Washington, D.C. to Springfield, Illinois, stopping in 180 cities along the way so citizens could pay their respects. Thousands lined up in each city, some waiting hours or even overnight. Lincoln was buried on Easter, which was declared a national day of mourning. Political aftermath. Andrew Johnson. With Lincoln gone, Vice President Andrew Johnson assumed the presidency. Johnson, a Southern Democrat loyal to the Union, disagreed with Lincoln's vision for post-war Reconstruction and often clashed with Congress. Johnson vetoed the 14th Amendment, which granted citizenship and equal protection to former slaves. Congress overrode his veto, but Johnson continued to obstruct Reconstruction efforts. He was eventually impeached, missing removal from office by a single vote. The Reconstruction period saw the passage of the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments, which abolished slavery, established citizenship and civil rights, and secured voting rights for Black Americans. Yet, despite these legal advancements, many Southern states implemented Jim Crow laws that enforced racial segregation for decades. Cultural ripples of the assassination. Our American Cousin remained popular even after Lincoln's assassination. Booth's brother-in-law, John Sleeper Clark, staged it in New York without paying proper licensing fees, showing how Booth's notoriety influenced others. Lincoln's image later appeared on the penny in 1909, marking the first time a real person appeared on U.S. currency. Legacy and broader impacts. Lincoln's assassination changed not only politics, but also American culture and memory. President's Day was later extended to honor Lincoln as well as George Washington. Eyewitnesses like Samuel J. Seymour, who was 5 at Ford's Theater, appeared on television in the 1950s to recount what they saw, bridging the gap between history and modern media. The period following Lincoln's death also shaped America's social and political landscape. The Reconstruction Acts allowed Southern states to rejoin the Union, but faced challenges in ensuring equal rights. Despite legal reforms, decades of racial discrimination persisted. Lincoln's vision of a united nation, free of slavery and committed to equality, became a cornerstone for future civil rights movements. Fun facts and historical context. During the Civil War, fax machines existed, though there were no Kinkos to deliver messages. Television arrived roughly 50 years after Lincoln's assassination, allowing eyewitnesses like Seymour to share their stories with a modern audience. The U.S. penny evolved over time, starting as Lady Liberty, then featuring a flying eagle, and finally Lincoln's portrait in 1909. Conclusion: Abraham Lincoln's assassination was more than a tragic event. It reshaped America's political, social, and cultural future. From Booth's dramatic escape to the funeral train across 180 cities, from Johnson's troubled presidency to the long road of Reconstruction, Lincoln's death left a profound legacy. His vision, his leadership during the Civil War, and his commitment to human rights continue to inspire generations. Though Lincoln is long gone, the echoes of April 14, 1865 remain in American memory, law, and culture.